great peace of heart and soul and body and life and heaven and earth be given you and fill you this day. Such peace might help you with Matthew 5, verses 44 through 46, where Jesus counters the usual practice of hating one's enemies and harassers, or as many translations say, they're persecutors, saying, I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who harass you, so that you will be acting as children of your Father who is in heaven. He makes the sun rise on both the evil and the good, and sends rain on both the righteous and the unrighteous. If you love only those who love you, what reward do you have? Don't even the tax collectors do the same? This is the word of the Lord. And these are the thoughts it leads me to. Loving those who love us is easy. Hating our enemies is even easier. That comes naturally. Isn't it what any normal, sane person would do? Undoubtedly. Nor does it seem logical to pray for someone who's harassing us. But that doesn't mean that either is the right thing to do, or even the best thing. A funny thing happens when we view someone or some group as being against us, whether as an enemy with a small e or a capital E, enemy. They become, in our eyes, something less than fully human. Everything they are and do gets colored by our antipathy. It's a lens that hides their better qualities, filters out things that might make us like or admire them, and blinds us to their good. We distrust our enemies, blame them for things, at worst, demonize them. Caught up in our aversion or hostility, we fail to see what viewing them as enemies is doing to us. If we're self-aware, we may at least notice how that antagonism is flooding our heart and spirit with negativity. We may feel its corrosive effect. But the worst thing is the lessening of our own humanity that occurs whenever we dehumanize another person or group. It may be that wanting the unrighteous to experience rain, not sun, subtracts from us something integral to that image of God in which we were created. Or perhaps indulging something that's less than the best of who we are comes at a higher cost than we realize. There's another funny thing that happens when we choose to love our enemies and pray for those who harass us. As we become concerned about them, we begin to see them for who they are, whole people with strengths as well as weaknesses, good as well as bad. We see they're as human as we are. And in the process, we too become more whole. So be it. The last of this week's quotes also comes from Joan Paul's pilgrimage book. This time she writes, "The ministry of reconciliation has no defined or definable limits. All of life belongs to God, and all brokenness awaits healing." And I leave you, of course, with a blessing. May you see the full humanity of the people around you, be they your loved ones, your friends, your acquaintances, a stranger, or an enemy. For they too are loved, much loved, beloved children of God. As for you, as you go through this day, may you feel God's love deep down in your heart. Sense God's peace enfolding you. Both are there. You are blessed. Amen.